listen.
That's just what's going on.
So what you want to do about it?
What you mean?
We're not fighting at the brunch. I'm hungry.
What you want to do about it?
You can do whatever. I'm not ducking no smoke. What you think?
Man, say my name one more time, bro.
Dolly. Oh, wait.
Baddies Africa episode 5 titled Baddie Trouble. Okay, damn. It starts off with Big Lex and Fauna's fight. We seen like Bad Dolly jumping in, and now that I watched it, I see why Bad Dolly jumped in. So in the middle of Big Lex swinging, I think Fauna hit her and made her bonnet fell over her face. And so Bad Dolly was like, Lex is not gonna fight blind. So she gets in and like starts hitting Fauna, and Big Lex like pulls that bonnet over her face. Big Lex, what are you doing? Why are you fighting with a bonnet? Haven't you learned from DTB? Like, you gotta use a swim cap. You can't fight with a bonnet on. Bad Dolly jumped in. You just see like, I don't know what it is, popcorn or something just flies everywhere. And Fauna is so fast. She turns around. She starts swinging on Bad Dolly. Out of all the times that Bad Dolly jumped into a fight, this was probably the most legit reason to do it. But it was still wrong. Because at the end of the day, like, if Lex's bonnet fell over her face, that's Lex's bad. It is what it is. Fortunately, sometimes, happens when you're fighting, but like I said, I get it. I completely get it. But Summer was also trying to jump in, and that's where I'm like, this is where you lose a lot of people. Come on, Big Three. Like, I be trying so hard. I'm not a hater. I just try to give everybody a chance. But like, now you guys jumped Fauna, or you tried to. Summer didn't actually hit Fauna, but she tried, and that's the point. And Fauna, she actually stood her ground against Bad Dolly. If you watch that, like, she was doing very good. Bad Dolly blindsided her, and she still was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, Fauna did very well. Cold Killer comes from the sideline, boom, she hits Bad Dolly in the head like one good time. Fauna is like pissed, and rightfully so, because she's like, did you guys just try to jump me? So Natalie gets up, she's like, guys, that's it, come on, it's time to go out, we're going. But nope, they're not done yet. Bad Dolly comes from behind K-Rika and grabs her by the hair and starts boop, boop, boop. I'm just like, oh my god, K-Rika can't catch a break, y'all. She took so many fades that just wasn't meant for her. Like, she I don't know why Summer wants to fight her. Tavy Baby wants to fight her. Don't know why Bad Dolly just snuck her in the back of the head. Like, she's literally catching strays just because she's part of the pretty three, And K-Rika, by the way, like, I've been noticing that every scene, whenever she's fighting, she's like out of breath. I feel like, are you okay? Whenever you see her, she cannot breathe. She's literally holding her sides like, I'm like, damn, is it because you're a smoker? It's like LCK says, you probably shouldn't do that, Natalie's like, that's enough, guys. We have to go. We gotta go. Yeah, so Cold Killer's in the confessional is like, yeah, I definitely feel like I locked in with the right girls. Like her, Rican, and Fauna, they're not bullies. They're not mean girls, but, they're gonna stand on business. They're gonna fight, and they're gonna defend themselves. And I agree. The only thing is that you did jump in on LCK's fight. Cold Killer lost me a little bit when she did that. You guys literally had done no wrong up until that point. I didn't like that. The Pretty P is like, I told y'all earlier that Fanya can fight. It's like, oops, everybody's saying her name wrong. Damn. Summer said nobody's gonna pronounce your name correctly. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard for everybody to say. Even Natalie was like, Fanya, please get her name right. You still didn't say it right either. It's Fana. The I is silent, like Fana, even though she spells it Fania. Yeah, she could fight, and I agree. Like, the way she turned on Bad Dolly, caught her off guard, and she still was boop, 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 like off guard, and still kind of low-key beat Bad Dolly. That was impressive. Okay, so they show all the girls getting ready to go out for the very first time in Cape Town, South Africa. So they get into 2 different vans. They're on their way to the club. They're kind of like talking about everything that just happened. Ivory's literally in the confessionals, kind of like, these bitches are gonna tell you no fighting in the club, but it don't matter. Like, if it's up, it's up. She's literally telling them, like, if you fight at the club, fight at the club. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Not in South Africa. Not in Africa, period. They literally do. They're literally like, guys, we're in Africa. We're Africa. Cheers. Cheers to God. Cheers to God. And I'm like, stop that blaspheming. Absolutely not. Baddies doing a cheers to God with their liquor in their hand. You guys better stop. Russian Cream, such a pretty girl, but like the wig that she was wearing in her confessional, that yellow wig, it's just not it. Not it. It covers up her face. I'm not a big fan of that look. Sorry. You pretty though. They're literally just recapping everything that happened already, so I'm not going to go over that, but it's just funny because Russian Cream is talking about how LCK got jumped off camera, and Russian Cream says, Fana. It's Fauna. Fauna. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't think Fauna cares if you mispronounce her name. I don't think that was ever the issue. I think it was because Summer was just being so disrespectful about it. She was like, I'm gonna call you whatever I want to call you. But anyways, I just think it's funny that everybody's saying it in a little different way. Okay, so they finally arrive at the lounge. It does look like a really nice lounge, and apparently it's the CEO's birthday. So Natalie grabs the mic as she normally does, and she's giving a shout out to everybody. She's like, shout out Rolly, shout out Scotty, shout out DTB. She basically shouts out all of the OGs, the people that have been on the show by name, and she's like, and the new la la la, and then like the scene cuts off and it's like playing music and Fauna is in the confessional. She's like, I'm kind of sad that like Natalie didn't give us a shout out in the club. Like, she literally shouted out all the OGs, but she didn't say none of the new people on here. I was like, is this real? Like, well, it was just weird because you heard Natalie say, and the new, and she goes, la la la. And then I wonder what she said after that was cut out. But yeah, I was like, Fauna, girl, I don't believe you. You're not sad about that. Stop. I don't think you really care that much. Whoa, what? So they're literally like showing the girls dancing in the club, and they flash to a scene I did not expect. Miss Anna Mac pulls up. I'm like, girl, are you still here? What? I thought she left in the last scene. She was crying. She was hugging DTB. I'm happy to see her. Like I said, Anna makes great TV. I don't think I ever commented about this look that DTB has. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan. But you know what? It's just me personally. I just don't find animal print to look nice on anybody. This always gives a little tacky to me. I like the white jacket and her makeup, earrings, even her hair. I think that's all cute. It's just the animal print. I don't really love that. So DTB is like, I'm the one that invited Anna Mac out because it's the boss's birthday and she should enjoy the boss's birthday. It's just like, you did it to be messy. Don't lie. It wasn't about the CEO's birthday. You just did it because you wanted your friend there. It's okay. Like, just say that. But yeah, Natalie's pissed. You could literally see it in her facial expressions. She's pissed, but she's just trying to like keep a poker face and not show it because she don't want to fight in the clubs, which is like commendable. Like, you know, at least she has some sense not to try to fight in these clubs in South Africa. But now, boom, she's back on DTB. DTB is the target again. She's like, tomorrow, DTB, me and you, we gotta talk. You invited my op out. I kind of understand her point of view here because like the way that Anna and Natalie left it was so bad. Like, it was bad. Like, they fought and everything, and then you invited her after Natalie doesn't want her to be here. So yeah, so they're celebrating Lemmy's birthday. Apparently Natalie and Lemmy Natalie and Lemmy remixed Natalie's song, that Baddies. They remixed that, and like Lemmy is rapping. I don't know. I was just like, what? They played it in the club. Like, we gotta let them hear our new song. I was like, what the hell? This is not serious. Okay, so there's text on the screen. You know, when they write text on the screen, something serious happened. So it says, later that night outside the venue, Summer was involved in an altercation with a member of Zeus security. She was unavailable to participate for the next few episodes. That's it? You guys aren't gonna tell us what happened? No, what happened? An altercation. So they fought. So she fought some Zeus security member, and then what happened? Somebody tell me what happened. Okay, so the scene transitions to Scotty. She is in her room by herself getting her hair done, and she's like, you know, me and Natalie have been going at it back and forth, and I'm just gonna call her and like have a conversation with her. From this scene, I'm like, oh my god, so like, you guys really did fall out for real, because the way Scotty said it was like as if she has not called Natalie in a while. Because I don't know, I kind of was thinking like, is this just for the show? But no, it seems like they really did fall out. So Scotty is telling Natalie like, I just want to sit down and have a one-on-one with you and talk. And Natalie on the phone, they're FaceTiming. Natalie is like, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that we need to. But then in the confessionals, Natalie's like, wah. This girl just wants to sit here and cry and talk. Like, this is a completely different energy. So they're talking about that first dinner, and Natalie's like, you threw glass at me. And Scotty's like, because you swung at me first. I knew I couldn't get you, so I was like, let me cut your feet up. Like, you could tell she was trying to be funny about it. She's trying to move forward, but Natalie is still upset. And Natalie's like, well, you called me a bitch first. And Scotty's like, yeah, that kind of just slipped out. Like, so, okay, I'm like, okay, Scotty's taking accountability. She's saying, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That slipped out. Now, Natalie, are you going to take any accountability at all? Let's see. I don't like this look that Scotty has. I'm not gonna lie. In the confessional with the yellow hair, I don't know, so far between her and Russian Cream, I haven't seen a girl pull off that like highlighter yellow hair well so far. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. This show is kind of slow. I'm not gonna lie. This episode's kind of slow. I'm literally like watching it on 1.25 speed. And even still, it's like feeling kind of slow. Okay, so next scene we have Russian Cream and LCK in their bedroom. They're talking about everything last night. So apparently after the cameras were recording at the club, Rican was on the mic and apparently Bad Dolly snatched the mic out of Rican's hand and they said Rican didn't do nothing. Russian Cream is just in her confessional like, you didn't do shit, girl, scary girl. And they show the scene. I'm like, oh damn. But the thing is, they told these girls a million times not to fight in the clubs in South Africa. So I'm pretty sure K Rican was just trying to be respectful of the rules, which is why I like K Rican. She hasn't really done anything that to me was like, oh no, you were wrong for that. You were wrong for that. No, she's been pretty chill this whole time, but like always defending herself and stuff, you know. Tavy Baby enters into the room. They're just talking about how Bad Dolly, you know, snatched the mic from K Rican. Tavy Baby's like, yeah, I didn't like that shit. I didn't like that shit. She's talking about how she fought the whole Pretty Three, literally Fauna, Cold Killer, and K Rican. Fought them all on behalf of LCK because they jumped LCK off camera. And then it switches to the next scene where we have Fauna and Cold Killer in the theater room. And they're sitting talking about everything. Cold Killer is literally talking to her with one eyelash in and the other one. I'm like, hello? Did you not see that? You kind of look crazy, girl. Like, I swear when they first showed the scene, I did not recognize her. I was like, who is that? Who is that? Damn, that's Cold Killer. I don't think they could find lash people in South Africa, hair people in South Africa. I don't know, because some of these girls, they were looking pretty rough. Because I'm like, girl, take it out. But if it's lash extensions, she probably can't. And maybe the other ones got ripped off, which, ooh. So enter K Rican. K Rican's so funny. Like, Loki, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but like her confessionals make me laugh. And the way she reads, she can read somebody so good. Like her mouth, to me, I think she's so funny. And her accent just like makes her even more funny. So Fauna is talking to K Rican again about the whole Big Lex and Fauna fight. And Fauna is saying to K Rican, like, my whole thing was like, yeah, Big Lex was trying to break it up, but you're grabbing my friend. You shouldn't grab my friend. Grab your friend. And here's the thing. Hear me out. I like Fauna, but here's the thing. K Rican was beating LCK's ass, like beating her ass, okay? Like multiple times. This is about the third or fourth fight that they got into. K Rican whoops her ass every single time. So I feel like Big Lex was trying to get the aggressor off of her. She's trying to get K Rican off because LCK literally is weak and she can't fight. And if you put yourself in her shoes, like, okay, there's somebody that's beating another person's ass, you're gonna go to the person that's beating their ass and pull them off of them. That's just my opinion, okay? I'm not biased. I don't sit here. I'm not on any bandwagon. I literally just watch this and like react being neutral, completely neutral. Do I understand Fauna's point of view here? I do. But also, Fauna, then since you saw Lex do that, you should have went and you should have grabbed LCK. You shouldn't have came from behind and grabbed Lex's hair. That's how it turned into a whole situation. Okay, so enter Rolly with this cute like green see-through dress. They literally keep calling Rolly like a motherly figure, and I don't know. I just don't know how I'd feel about that. It's like kind of like calling somebody auntie, you know? Anyways, so Rolly's just like asking them questions. You know, you could tell the dynamic here. They have the girls like Ivory, Rolly, and some of the older girls that have been on, they pretty much have them being like the production. Like they come in and they are leading the scene. They're asking the girls questions so that they can get dialogue. Fauna asked Rolly, like, does Natalie actually like get to know the girls or not? Because, you know, last night at the club, I just kind of felt some type of way because she was giving everybody a shout out, but she didn't shout out any of the new people. Rolly's like, listen, she did used to get to know all the girls. She did used to do like a lot for all the girls, but like it got to a point where it just became messy because whenever stuff happened, she was always dragged in the middle and, you know, all that. And I completely understand. I'm like, yeah, I can see how that happens. I think it's just tricky. It's tricky. I'm not gonna lie. So it switches back to the other room with Tavy Baby, LCK, and Russian Cream. And they're just saying how like in the club, they were being very cordial with their ops. You know, K Rican was apparently smoking everybody's stuff. LCK is like, so if we have a problem with them, why are we even like associating ourselves with them? And that made Tavy Baby really angry. So it's like, why are you so mad at that that comment. Tavy Baby's like, you don't think we're supposed to be cordial with them in the club? We're all here together. Like, she's like, this is work. What do you want to do? Go and punch him again? Like, yeah, the message that you're saying is correct, but the way you're saying it is like, why are you on level 100? LCK is like trying to call out Tavy Baby. She's like, well, at the club you were shaking hands with Cold Killer, and Tavy Baby's getting mad. She's like, don't worry about what I'm doing. That's your problem. In this situation, I'm gonna have to agree with Tavy Baby, because Tavy Baby literally fought these 3 girls for you. So the fact that you would even dare question her loyalty at this point is crazy. She literally fought them for you. Okay, you should understand that in the club they're working. They have to be cordial. They said no fighting, all that. Tavy Baby shaking hands with her in the club, like, that doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean they're best friends. LCK was reading a little bit too much into that. From LCK's point of view, she was probably like, you don't have to be shaking her hand though. Like, you could be cordial and neutral and just like don't talk to them in the club. But this is why you should not judge LCK. So because when Tavy Baby told the story, she said, first of all, I didn't shake her hand. Cold Killer came up to me and she shook my hand and she said, I respect what you did because you stood up for your friend. So that was why they shook hands. So yeah, LCK, just be like, sorry. Okay, sorry. Just Tavy Baby was your real friend, in the few days that you guys got to know each other. She was riding for you. You kind of misfired a little bit with this one. Russian Cream makes a good point. She's like, Tavy just fought DTB and LCK, you're cool with DTB. So valid points. That makes sense to me. It seems like it's double standard. Russian Cream's over it. She's like, oh my God, just shut up. We're beating a dead horse. Like, are you guys excited to go out? And Tavy Baby's like, I am. I want to see lions and tigers. Okay, so next scene we have Scotty sitting down drinking, and in enters Natalie Nunn. I love Scotty's dress. So apparently they haven't talked since Atlanta. Natalie is talking to Scotty right now so slowly, like 1.25 speed, 1.5 speed. But she's like, I just feel like you've changed, Scotty, and I'm not saying in a negative way or in a bad way. I'm just saying that you've changed. No, just be honest. You're already starting off lying. Just say it. You just called her entitled a million times on the first episode. Just say, I think you changed in a bad way. So Scotty is like, I just feel like I'm getting used to this environment now. Like in the beginning from Baddie South, I didn't say anything when people disrespect me, but now I'm standing up for myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. And everybody, in fact, was telling Scotty, you need to stand up for yourself. And I don't feel like that's Natalie's issue too. It's not that Scotty's standing up for herself. Natalie had said many times before, like, ooh, look at Scotty. Oh, Scotty's gonna stand up this season. Like, she said that many times. Like, both of them are not actually telling what the real issues are. Like, I think a lot of stuff is just happening off scenes too. That's why this whole thing doesn't make any sense. Okay, so Natalie's like saying like, I don't think I like the new Scotty. Like, before you were more balanced, but now this new Scotty, like, I feel like every time I turn around, you're kind of challenging me. Kind of feels like Natalie Nunn is saying like, I can't really control this new Scotty and I don't like it. Like, it was like she was just one hair away from saying that. It was like, oh shoot, where are we going with this? On Baddies Africa, at least I'll say, I definitely peeped that too, because Scotty, I even said in one of my reviews, I was like, damn, Scotty is not letting up on Natalie. Like, Scotty kind of like kept mentioning Natalie. When Big Lex snuck her, she called Natalie, you gonna let her do that? And then when she was arguing with the big 3, she was like, y'all switched up on me for her, and she pointed at Natalie. Yeah, I kind of see where Natalie's coming from, but at the same time, Natalie, you were doing this girl so wrong. Scotty became that way because of you, because you were low-key abusing her in the beginning. When she first came on the show, you literally swung on her and you hit her for no reason because somebody else made you mad. So you took your anger out on Scotty. So low-key, I feel like what you're complaining about Scotty, she's that way because you made her that way. You came for her multiple times. I don't know what else happened off camera. All I can judge is what I see on camera. Natalie brings up the chain again. Like, that's I think the one thing that Scotty did that Natalie was so upset, because Scotty put her in the middle of that situation, and she mentioned Capri again. I'm like, what is your problem with Capri? Like, Natalie doesn't like Scotty's dog, because I remember even in a previous season, Natalie was like making it a big deal that Scotty was bringing her dog everywhere. She was like, we had to wait for you at the airport or something like that, and it had something to do with Capri because of the dog. It's like, no, she doesn't like your dog. You should bring him him up again. Her, I don't know, boy, girl. But yeah, anyways. And Scotty is telling her that like every season you've been lashing out on me no matter what I do. And Scotty starts crying. And this is why I think people feel bad for Scotty and they're on Scotty's side, because she appears to be very genuine. Like she gets emotional about Natalie, but Natalie doesn't ever get emotional about Scotty. Natalie's always so cold. She's always so like, man, here she's crying again. You're not a victim. Like she's always just so cold to her. Okay, finally, Natalie's took a little bit of accountability. She was like, okay, I'm trying to find a place where we can land the plane and I can be a better friend to you. She didn't really say that. She said what you think is a better friend, which is like, at least we got something there, because I just noticed Natalie don't take accountability for nothing in her friendships. Damn, that's so funny that Natalie brought up Capri, and I said it, like, I swear, because I'm literally just like reacting as I'm watching. I said it before they even brought it up, but see, I told y'all Natalie doesn't like Capri. She brought it up again. I don't know, that's just really weird. Leave people's kids and pets out of it. Damn, see, like Scotty's in the confessionals crying about her dog. Like she literally is like, I sacrificed and I didn't bring my dog here just so that everybody can feel comfortable, because apparently I guess everybody was like wanting to bring their dogs as well, but like it's Scotty's service dog, so it's a little more than just a pet. Okay, much more than that actually. And no matter what, even if you don't understand the concept of service dogs, because I don't think Natalie does, because the way she's even looking at Scotty right now, she's looking at her like, what the just be a little bit respectful, because it's more than that. Like it's actually like a mental health thing. The fact that Scotty's literally crying right now over her dog just shows you that she's very attached to her dog. Yeah, like a lot of people legitimately view their dogs as like children. So they hug it out and they're like, we're gonna just work towards a better friendship in the future. We'll see next season when they show them fighting again. Like it's just okay. So they switch the next scene. We have Pretty P and Ivory. They're sitting and eating. Let's see what kind of food this is. I don't know. There's some fruit. I kind of wish like a chef would come out and tell us what all this food is. I just love seeing like other cultures' foods and stuff. But yeah, here comes these ratchet ass baddies about to come here and ruin all this food. So in enters Rolly, K-Rican, Fauna, and Cold Killer. They come in and they sit down at the table. They're really playing this trio thing so bad. You could tell this is going to be the storyline for the whole season, because they're making them even enter in trios. You had Rolly and the Pretty Three enter, and then you have the other three who they don't have a name yet, though. That's what I'm calling them, the other three. It's not shade, but you have Tavy Baby, Russian Cream, and LCK, and they come in. They're all sitting at the dining table together. But yeah, Russian Cream is in her confessional like, food and baddies don't go together, but we're gonna see. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. These girls have to fight all the time, so like the one thing that you would hope for is just to be able to eat a very good delicious meal, and they like rarely get to do that. Okay, DTB walks in. I think she looks the cutest out of everybody. Well, everybody has on robes except Rolly, but DTB actually walks in with like this lime green and yellow dress and like this platinum blonde hair. I actually think she looks really nice. Okay, in enters the big three minus Summer, because she got into the altercation with the security guard. So we got Big Lex and Bad Dolly. Rolly is like, Dolly, you kept trying to stand on the tables. I kept trying to get you down. Like, don't you remember last time you stood up on the table, you fell? Bad Dolly is like, yeah, no, I fell last time because a bitch was trying to get on the table with me. It was only room for one bitch on that table. And Cold Killer was like, that's just some hater shit. Yeah, Bad Dolly was saying it in a haterish way, but it's still legit what she was saying. Like, yeah, the table was only big enough for one person. In a haterish way. Cold Killer is like, it's room for me and all my bitches in this. Oh, damn. Dolly is just such a negative Nancy. Oh my gosh. So they're like, Dolly, did you snatch the mic out of K-Rican's hand? Like, this would have just been a good opportunity to have fun with it, because they were literally laughing while they were talking about it. But Bad Dolly was like, oh, who is that? Who it is? I thought it was the other bitch. Y'all look alike. So I'm just like, Dolly, what's wrong? Why are you so mad? Bad Dolly said now that Summer's gone, she's going to be the new villain. She said, I will take that role. And that's exactly what she's doing. Hey, Rican's like, why? Everybody's vibing and have a good time. Why you want to do that? And Bad Dolly said, I took it because I wanted to. She even snapped at Tavy Baby too. She was like, I can do whatever I want to do. Like, from the second that this girl sat down, she was trying to fight somebody. So Bad Dolly stands up and she's like, listen, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to do something about it or not? And K-Rican's like, what do you mean? Rolly is like, no, we're not fighting at the brunch. Like, I want to eat. K-Rican's like, we can do whatever. I ain't duck his smoke. But K-Rican looks like she doesn't really want to fight her. Dolly's like, Figure out what do you want to do. And she sits down. Oh, whoa, this is weird. Bad Dolly says, if you wanted to do something, you should have handled it at the club. Like, you were trying to instigate a fight at the club after Natalie, the person that you love so much, told you no fighting in the clubs in Africa. Yeah, she's like mad. She's like, you should have spoke on that shit then. Why are you bringing it up now? But K. Rican is not the one that brought it up, actually. I think it was Rolly, if you go back and watch. I'm just surprised because K. Rican, unless they told them don't fight at the brunch, K. Rican, like, now is the time. You said she disrespected you. She took the mic out of your hand. You should stand up right now. Stand up for yourself. But in enters Scotty. Hey guys. Her hair is literally flowing in the wind. Scotty sits down. She's like, I thought we were eating. And Rolly's like, yeah, we are eating, but we're just discussing like what happened last night. And Fauna gives a recap to Scotty. And she's like, yeah, so you know how like you were just talking to me about the sisterhood. When we go out, you know, it's us against the world type of thing. Last night, Dolly literally snatched the mic out of K. Rican's hand. And Dolly's like, man, say my name one more time. Like, Dolly is literally hanging on every single word that these girls say to find a way to insert herself and try to fight. Like, literally, I've never seen but somebody try desperately to create an issue. When she says, say my name one more time, Fauna says, Dolly. What? Nobody's scared. Dolly gets up, and then here we go. It turns into a food fight. Hey, Rican is throwing her plate. Everybody's throwing their plates. Food goes everywhere. I'm like, here we go. Why even have the food in the first place? You guys might as well just like bring fake food from now on or something, because it's just wasteful. All right, so we got the next episode scenes. Finally, Choco Brown's coming in, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Choco Brown and DTB get into a fight. It looks like Choco Brown can fight much better than LCK, and I'm just happy because I'm like, finally, because like really, LCK, you were just not representing for the Africans. I'm sorry, Loki, you're making Africans look weak, but you know, Choco Brown comes in from Nigeria. I don't know why it took her this long. Oh, I think maybe because she's like a replacement for Anna. I'm excited to actually see like, you know, an African that stands on business, that has hands, that can fight.